Have you ever had the strange feeling that something about your childhood just didn't feel normal? Maybe your home looked perfectly fine from the outside. Maybe people even thought your parent was charming, successful, or admired. But inside the house, things felt different. You often felt like you were walking on eggshells, like love had to be earned, like your feelings somehow mattered less than everyone else's. If that sounds familiar, you might have grown up with a narcissistic parent. Now, narcissism exists on a spectrum. Not every difficult parent is a narcissist, and not every narcissist has a full narcissistic personality disorder. But when a parent consistently puts their own needs, ego, and image above their child's emotional well-being, it leaves very specific patterns behind. Patterns many adults only start recognizing years later. Today, we're going to talk about 5 signs you may have been raised by a narcissist. And while every sign matters, the last one is often the most revealing, so make sure you stay until the end. Let's begin. Number 5. Love felt conditional. In a healthy family, love is supposed to feel stable and safe. You shouldn't have to earn it. But if you were raised by a narcissistic parent, love may have felt more like a reward system. When you made them proud, when you made them look good, when you achieved something they could brag about, suddenly they were warm, supportive, even affectionate. But the moment you disappointed them or failed to meet their expectations, that warmth could disappear almost instantly. The message you learned very early was simple. Love comes when I perform well, and that can create a painful pattern in adulthood. Many people raised this way grow up believing they must constantly prove their worth in relationships. They overachieve, they overgive, they overwork, all because a small part of them still believes love must be earned. Number 4, everything somehow became about them. Another common sign is how easily your parent could turn the spotlight back onto themselves. Birthdays, school achievements, special moments in your life. Things that should have been about you often became about them. Maybe they took credit for your accomplishments. Maybe they told everyone how much they sacrificed to make your success possible. Or maybe they found a way to create conflict so the attention returned to them. Narcissistic parents often see their children less as independent people and more as extensions of themselves. Your success reflects on them. Your failure embarrasses them. So the focus rarely stays where it belongs. Over time, this can make children feel invisible, even during moments that should have been theirs. Number 3, you were afraid to upset them. Most kids want their parents' approval. That's normal. But in a narcissistic household, that pressure can become extreme. You may have constantly worried about saying the wrong thing, making the wrong choice, or triggering one of their angry reactions. Sometimes the rules weren't even clear. Something that made them happy one day might make them furious the next. This unpredictability teaches children to become highly alert. They start studying people's moods. They learn to stay quiet, stay careful, stay agreeable. Not because they want to, but because it feels safer. Many adults raised in these environments later realize they struggle with people-pleasing, anxiety, or difficulty expressing their true feelings. Number 2, your feelings were often ignored. Children need emotional support to develop a healthy sense of self. They need someone who listens when they're upset, someone who validates their feelings. But narcissistic parents often struggle with this because their emotional focus is almost always directed inward. When you were hurt, you may have been told you were too sensitive. When you were struggling, your problems may have been dismissed as unimportant. Or worse, your vulnerability might have been used against you later during arguments. Over time, this teaches children a painful lesson. My feelings don't matter. Many people raised this way grow into adults who have difficulty even identifying what they feel. They learned so early to push those emotions down that reconnecting with them later can take years. Number 1, they never took responsibility. And this may be the clearest sign of all. Narcissistic parents rarely admit when they are wrong. If something went well, they took credit. If something went badly, someone else was to blame. Maybe it was your fault. Maybe it was another family member. Maybe it was bad luck or unfair circumstances, but it was almost never their responsibility. Even when confronted directly by hurtful behavior, they may deny it completely, minimize it, or turn the situation around and make themselves the victim. For a child, this creates a confusing reality, because when the person who holds authority in your life refuses to acknowledge mistakes, it becomes difficult to trust your own perception of events. Many adults raised by narcissistic parents spend years wondering, was it really that bad, or am I exaggerating? But recognizing these patterns can be the first step towards understanding your past and healing from it. Final thoughts. Growing up with a narcissistic parent can leave deep emotional patterns, but recognizing those patterns is not about blaming yourself or staying stuck in the past. It's about understanding what shaped you, because once you understand it, you can begin to change it. You can learn healthier boundaries. You can build relationships based on mutual respect. And most importantly, you can give yourself the compassion and validation you may not have received growing up. If any of these signs resonated with you, know that you're not alone, and awareness is always the first step towards breaking the cycle.